Let's continue here on Boxtorow. We're joined by a gentleman who is in his second season as the head men's basketball coach at Jackson State. Right now, you look at Jackson State tied for third place with about three other teams in the SWAC with 5 games remaining. So it's a lot of time left in the season. He also played 15 seasons in the NBA, and the Tigers are on a 4-game winning streak. Mo Williams joining us here on Boxtorow. Coach Williams, welcome back to the program.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure is ours. 4 straight. What's been the secret? Because prior to these 4 straight wins, you had lost 4 in a row. So what's been the secret in these last 4 games?
Yeah, it's been an ebb and flow season. You know, we started out the season 4-1, and then we lost 4 straight. And when we went through that time, we was playing some bad basketball. We created some bad habits. Maybe felt, too good starting out 4-1. I always remind my guys that it's never as good as it feels and never bad as it seems. So when we went on that 4-game losing streak, I always reminded them how we felt when we was 4-1 and how we feel when we 0-4 in those previous games. And when you lose those games, we came in for a meeting, and I just put one word on the board that was change. Got to change. Got to change your habits. Got to change your mindset. And once we did those things, things started to kind of turn back around and led us into this 4-game winning streak.
Can you speak? You've been in You've been in the SWAC. You were formerly at Alabama State, of course. Your second year at Jackson State. Can you speak to the SWAC? Because at the top, as you know, you've got Southern and Grambling. Then it's you. I think it's Alabama State. There's a couple of other teams, and then you got a couple of other teams that are 7-6, all really with an opportunity, 5 games left in the season to try to win the championship.
Well, you got 10 teams that's fighting for 8 spots in the tournament. Our tournament, we have 12 teams, but only 8 teams make it to our SWAC tournament. But you have 10 teams in here that can easily be in that 8. So you're fighting, you're jockeying for position. Every game matters in our league. Every game. Doesn't matter who you're playing. Even if you're playing Valley or Florida A&M, which are at the bottom right now, you got to come out and compete and play. It's definitely it's a juggernaut of a league this year. I mean, it's a lot of great coaches in our league. It's a lot of great players in our league. We compete every single night. And any night can be your night. So you have to be prepared and locked in and ready to go.
Mo Williams in his second season as the head men's basketball coach at Jackson State. He joins us here on Boxtorow. Just kind of want to get your thoughts because you've been in the SWAC. Your first head coaching job was at Alabama State. Was this just a better opportunity for you at Jackson State?
Well, just what I walked into. I don't think people realize. Because we don't get the media coverage in our league, just on the ins and outs of things. But people don't know that I inherited a Alabama State job my first year when we was on probation. We weren't allowed to go to the SWAC tournament no matter how well we did. And also we had some consequences we had to live with where we had to take 2 days off a week. Where typically no team does that. We couldn't practice certain time. We had to do certain things academically to get us back up to standards. Obviously, we couldn't go to the tournament, so we was on probation that 1 year, and obviously I had to rebuild also. I had to rebuild a whole program, and I was obviously going into my 3rd year there, where we was gonna have a really good season coming back. I had all my guys coming back. And then the Jackson State opportunity to open up, being that I'm from Jackson, being that I came into a situation that was a little different where they was built to win right away. I think that was the biggest difference.
Mo Williams, the head men's basketball coach at Jackson State, joining us here on the program. Let's talk personnel. Of course, Jordan O'Neal, the HBCU National Player of the Week, had a really, really good week last week. But Ken Evans Jr., like he's leading you in scoring. Talk about the dynamic between those 2 young men.
Well, we need them both. We need them both. Our record with those two on the floor together is a little bit different than what it is overall. Overall, we're 8-5, but Jordan missed 2 games, and we lost both of those games in that 4-game losing streak, and we need him on the floor. Ken has been solid for us all season long, just been that guy for us. He's the top player on everybody's scouting report. They're trying to take him away. They make it tough on him every single night, but he always find a way to contribute. He always find a way to control the game. He gets better every single day as far as from a mindset standpoint. Jordan O'Neal, I mean, he just he makes me proud for one because I recruited him at Alabama State and he transferred here for his last year at Jackson State to play for me again. And just the player that I recruited and the vision I had for him when I recruited him, it all has came into fruition this year for him. I mean, right before my eyes, just the two-way player that he is. He's leading our league in shot blocks, leading our league in field goal percentage. And he's averaging 15, 16 points, 7, 8 rebounds, and a couple blocks a game. And, you know, with that player, you can't replace the production and the presence that he brings on the court and just the leadership Ken brings every single night, scoring the ball, rebounding the ball, and also making plays and assists for other players. Those two are our main and most important 2 guys.
And then, I mean, obviously, you've got the game against Alcorn State. I mentioned all of those teams that are bunched together. Alcorn State's right there with you at 8-5, although you have the advantage against them having beaten them the first time around. Your thoughts on the Braves and some of the challenges that the Braves present?
Man, they're a tough team. I mean, they're well coached. They're going to grind it out, and it's a rivalry. We all in the sports world. We know how rivalry games go. It really doesn't matter who's the best team in a rivalry game. You know, both teams are going to be ready to play. Both teams are going to be ready to compete, ready to fight. It's going to be chippy. It's going to be physical. So all those things we know. And it's going to be a big game, a lot of implications in this game. Us being tied for third, per se, we're in third because we're ahead of them right now. But I look at it as we tied because whoever wins this game is going to take that spot. So it's a huge game for us. We're preparing for it every single day. The great and the beauty of it is that's our travel partner. Our league, you have travel partners. So when you play your travel partner, you don't have a game on that Monday. So we can go all out on Saturday and not worry about getting rest for Monday.
A couple of last thoughts, Coach Williams, and we appreciate the time. I think that's interesting. You mentioned travel partners and then that Saturday, Monday, because you got the game Saturday, then you're off for a week. Then you've got 4 games in 8 days, basically 4 games, 7, 8 days. How do you sort of prepare for that? And that seemingly will prepare you for the SWAC tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, we start off our season that way and we end our season that way. So you prepare for it. You know, you just go out and play because at that time of the year, you want to play games. You don't want to have so much time where you have to practice. It's only so much practice you can do at this time of the year. You know, you're ready to play. But at the same time, those 4 games, you know, we got to go on the road to Texas Southern and Prairie View, and then we come back home and finish with Pine Bluff and Valley. So there'll be 4 games that we want to compete and win. We want to finish strong. We're on a 4-game winning streak now. We want to keep it rolling, but we got to go out and take 1 game at a time. But we definitely have to make sure we get in our rest, make sure we prepared to play every single night. It's just less time to prepare for the other team, but the beauty of it, they have less time to prepare for us too.
2 last thoughts. What do you remember most about your playing days? 15 years in the NBA, an NBA championship in your last year, played with LeBron James 2 different times, was a really good player in the league. What do you remember most about those days in the league?
Well, I mean, that's a loaded question, but I'll try to shorten it for you. I mean, obviously, I remember coming into the league, getting drafted by Utah, playing for Jerry Sloan. I remember that experience that really baptized me in the NBA. My years in Milwaukee was terrific. I was a young kid with the opportunity to play a lot, start my second year, and just grow from there. And then all of a sudden I go to Cleveland and play with LeBron, and I think that's where my game just went to another level, playing with the greatest player to ever put on basketball shoes. That experience is second to none. And then, my career went on a journey. After LeBron went to Miami, and then obviously reuniting with the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James in 2016 to win a championship. I think that really kind of put the icing on the cake per se in my career and my memories. I mean, I remember winning that championship and landing in Cleveland, and there's 30, 40,000 people at the airport for us. And the next day, the parade is 1.5 million people there. That is memories and an experience that I'll take with me for a lifetime. But it's a boatload of memories, but just shortening it up, just putting it in a short video for you. Those are some of the things that sticks out. And obviously making an all-star, being an all-star, experiencing that, and winning the NBA championship, experiencing that. I mean, that's what you play the game for, to win a championship, and obviously to be to be put in a category with, the top 15, top 20 players in the NBA in any particular season.
And then you were teammates with J.R. Smith, who is interesting. Right. You're at Jackson. He's a golfer and a pretty good one at North Carolina A&T.
Yes, I mean Swish. It's crazy because even during the season when we was together as teammates, we go golf together all the time. And this was in Cleveland. It can, once it get to about 50, we ready to go out and play. Right. But we it didn't surprise me per se because he loves the game. I mean, it didn't surprise me at all to see it.
No doubt about it. Mo Williams, again, in his second season as the head men's basketball coach at Jackson State, joining us here on the program. The Tigers are taking on Alcorn State. Winners, of course, of their last 4 games are the Tigers. Coach Williams, great to catch up with you. Continued success to you and the Tigers.
I appreciate it. Thank you.